Looks like this is where all these sheriffs went. Y'all know what's going on? No, okay, thanks. So we got Sheriff's Department. That makes me think it's something kind of big, kind of important. My guess would be drugs. That's always my first guess. I think that is that car that's up at Delhi Pike. Look at all this undercover looking cars in both directions. Got the Sheriff's Department here. Got the big white van that was up there. This is where they all went. Some kind of big bust up here in Delhi. I'd say we have 1, 2 official looking vehicles. I guess those are SUVs. Maybe 3 if you count the white van. I would count that. Then the rest of them, you can kind of tell because they all have the dark glass on them. Dark glass, dark glass. That one not as much, at least from behind. But all along the road down there, dark glass, down to the FedEx, I think, is all dark glass. So, don't have too much experience dealing with Hamilton County sheriffs, so I don't know if they're willing to answer any questions or not. I would suspect not, but we'll stay over here for now. We're across the street. They don't really have a barrier set up per se. Try to unscrew my camera. So I consider what I'm on to be an easement, right-of-way easement. I'm going to leave my bike on this easement, but not in the way where people couldn't walk by or where they're going to trip. So I should be going good to go right here, and I think I can go mobile. Probably maybe try and get to that sidewalk over there, go around the long way, hit the crosswalk. That'll get us closer while still being legal. Make sure they ain't packing drugs in there and shit themselves. We wouldn't expect that, but we want to be sure. Trust but verify. Isn't that what a government said at one time? So we're going to be legal here 100%. Go way out of our way to get to this crosswalk. And I think without question I should be able to go all the way up to that sheriff's car. Beyond that would become, I'd have to think about it more. But we are going to see, we are going to, if it's appropriate at some point, politely ask to see if we can get comment. We still have no idea what's going on here. Only news site on scene reporting that I know of. Can't see the screen from this side, but it was left open. That might give us an idea what this is all about up here. Got the American flag. I don't mind seeing that. I'd much rather see that than the thin blue line flag. So, you know, I'm going to be neutral to complimentary on the American flag thing. I'm going to be complimentary on that, basically. And this car looks clean. It even has what they call a clean box down there. That's how clean it is. 0 sugar. We're going to give this one a stamp of approval. So I actually thought I'd be able to see better from up here, but actually because of the way the cars are lined up, I can't see as good. So I was probably better off across the street where I was. I really like to get to the other side here and look at that, but I honestly don't want to know what the legalities are on that. I could definitely go into this driveway and record over there, because there are no trespassing signs, or the Delhi don't come on this property sign. And so this almost even looks semi-abandoned, this property. But I think I could go on that driveway until I was told to get, you know, I'm trespassed from the property. I haven't been trespassed. I forget what they call that. I think I have a kind of like an assumed invite on that property, unless they post no trespassing. Let's see if I can go up here a little bit. Getting a little bit of space there. Looks like he decided to lower his laptop. Good choice, sir. Give him a compliment there. That seems to be one of the most common slip-ups I see them make. But yeah, he left it up. I didn't see anything on it, but would have given us a little story probably about what we're observing here today. That's actually canine. I didn't realize that. I didn't see his dog in there, but it says it's canine. Got that big white van. I wonder if that's from the DEA. If the sheriff department leaves it up there or something. It's the same kind of van. Looks very similar to what I've seen the DEA use. Some of these folks could be DEA. It's, you know, they don't have they look like response, but they don't have on any sheriff department gear like the others do, or uniform. So we saw him come over, close his laptop. Should have been closed probably when he pulled up, but we don't know. But the fact that he came over to close it kind of reinforces that that's what he should have done to begin with. But if there's no arm of accountability, no one looking in the car to see if they did the right thing or not, then there's really no need to lower it, other than it could expose someone's private information, possibly police tactics and other things. So we're at the corner of Mount Alverno and I forget what this other street is. Man, it's on the tip of my brain. Greenwell, Mount Alverno and Greenwell. We're on Greenwell, and it's unknown what we have going on here. It's possible that they just raided a underground deep state donut factory. We're not saying that there's a baker in there per se, but we're brainstorming the possible options of what the sheriff's department could be doing here. Donut factory was the first thing that came to my mind. Well, maybe not. Actually, I think I said drug raid. Donut factory. Let's hope it's not anything more serious like a suicide or a death, or hope they didn't have to shoot any dogs or anything like that. But how you doing? I gave that guy a head nod and said, how you doing? He chose to remain silent, so he may know what he's doing. In this situation, exercising your right to remain silent can be one of the smartest things you can do. Looks like the Hamilton County Sheriff's Department is going to respect my right do my freedom of press, at least so far. I honestly didn't know whether they would or not. If I had to guess it, I'd have given it probably 60-40, 60% chance that they would. But just not having done it with them before, other than the one I had that tried to kick me off public property. Now we're gonna watch this woman right now on the sidewalk. If she continues through, then I'm gonna think that I can continue through as well. Looks like she may even live here or know the people that live here. Again, I'm just taking guesses. Got something else going on the sidewalk there, what they look like, all PD. Yep, all PD. Got two that look kind of out of uniform. One all the way out of uniform, but he's got a gun strapped to his leg, so I find that interesting. Nothing special. I gotta do a check on my bike real quick. Yeah, it's still there, so we're good to go. Somebody try to steal my bike in front of all the sheriff's deputies, that'd be crazy. So far, I feel they've been respectful. I've been respectful. Nobody here that I've seen has been disrespectful. I wonder where the dog is, though. I imagine they informed Delhi Police. Delhi Police is not involved here. Could possibly have even been a warrant. They may have this person in one of their vehicles somewhere already. It's unknown. A little bit boring right now. Just sitting waiting to see if anything happens. See someone dart back in the woods real quick. That'd be crazy. You never know how these things go, though. But it does look like the situation is in control, full control. I don't feel unsafe in any way here. Looks like most of the response team is just standing around talking. I see, I think, 7 guys right here, just mostly just standing around talking, it looks like. This woman here is the only one I've seen that actually seems like she's working, other than the guy that had to put his laptop down after he didn't do it when he left the vehicle initially. Windy day, she just dropped her paperwork. I wonder if the guy over there that's looking at me in the sunglasses, and I'm just assuming he's looking at me, but based on his head tilt, then he might have been the one in the car making the hand signals with impatience. So you got the first car that they have responded over here. You can kind of tell because it's got the dark windows too. Roughly halfway in the street with no lights on. That seems like a no-brainer. Safety tip 101. If you're the back car, put your safety lights on. Now the question is it protected by this vehicle with some lights on? And no, it's not. Just sticking out with no lights on. It's a safety issue. This car was smart enough to have their lights on. This car not that smart. I don't think it's about safety first. I almost guarantee you that's one of the government agent vehicles. I almost guarantee it. And so yeah, I see that as a probably out of protocol situation. They've had plenty of time after their initial raid and stuff for someone to come out and put them lights on. It's just a safety issue. You're sticking out. Look, all the way down there, even sticking out farther. This isn't a 2-lane road, this is a 1-lane road, and their freaking lights are all off. Now I assume that the sidewalk's closed off, so that should give me easement over here, I do believe. I believe if I want to walk over there, that should extend the easement out here. So I'm going to walk down there here in a minute and see how that goes. Is the sidewalk closed? Is that closed? No. I don't need to, but I want to. Yeah. Appreciate it.
He's coming through, guys.
Hey, too. Yeah. I was like, somebody wants to.
I wasn't trying to be rude to you.
I used to joke around because at one time Delhi was like the lowest 1 to 3% in the state for crime.
Oh, really?
We changed, I think.
I wasn't trying to be rude to you.
I'm like, with all this law enforcement, nobody's going to snag that.
Yeah, you're good to go.
Hey, thank you. Hey, just a safety hint, just my opinion. These lights, as these cars stick out more and more, for safety reasons, you ought to have some kind of flashing lights on.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
You think it's a good idea? You think it's a good idea, though? I ask the professionals, because you guys specialize in safety. You guys specialize in safety. You think these lights, you don't? No. You think the flasher lights on here might prevent an accident from happening if you put your, since you're halfway in the road on those?
We don't have flashlights.
You don't have emergency lights on your vehicles?
Oh, I don't know if these all work.
Yeah, just emergency, like, see the car over there?
Yeah.
Whoever drove that car, they were smart enough, had the foresight to put their blinkers on. Just like a school bus does when they're picking up kids, because it's safety. To me, this is like common sense safety 101. And like, if I was in the safety profession, someone pointed out, I'd be like, this guy said, thanks, man. And then the second thing I'd do is like find out who has these cars and can turn their blinkers on. Because every minute the blinker isn't on is a risk that the taxpayer takes on your guys' incompetence not to take common sense safety measures.
We'll find them.
Appreciate that, sir. I'll be timing it. So yeah, they laugh at safety issues. Safety issues are a joke to them. It's common sense safety issues that these guys think they can live not only above the law, but above other people's safety. I would call, if somebody wrecks and gets in an accident, that would be called negligence. Criminal negligence, in my opinion. Let's do the right thing, guys. Let's get some blinkers on these lights. Let's maybe put a cone out. You know, that's the other safety thing. You put a little orange cone on the corner car up there. It's like sticks out, it's noticeable. People know to slow down, be careful. Some of them are parents with kids in their car. It's not something I'd laugh at, sir. Did you laugh at me pointing out a safety issue, sir? I'm looking at the bald guy in the middle there. I saw you laughing after I went through. Is what I'm saying now funny? Do you think it's not an increased safety risk?
Hey, my man.
Yes, sir.
We have red and blues.
Not on the side, sir.
Right,
not on the side, and it sticks out farther. Sticks out farther and farther with darker and darker cars. Harder and harder to see.
We have lights.
That's not, I just recorded, sir. All these cars sticking halfway in the road. This one's about 3/4 in the road, has no lights. It's a blind spot.
We're not going to argue with you.
Well, you just addressed me. You are debating with me.
You've been addressed.
I would think, in all reality, red and blue strobe lights on a marked police cruiser would give people the heads up to move around the car safely.
That's not in the street.
It doesn't need to be in the street.
But the cars that are in the street have no light. Between the closest light and the end of the car that's in the street,
good job getting the public's attention.
Between the closest light to this side and the car that's sticking out right here, which is the farthest, is probably about a 3 to 4 feet difference. So your protection light isn't going out to the 4 feet risk of somebody running into the car. And I think what you're doing now is you're just making an excuse looking even worse. That's going to go on my YouTube channel. Gets
Actually
thousands of
giving people
views.
The opportunity to get around at the corner, because if you notice when we came up here, we were all blocking the corner. So we moved our cars down and put a cruiser there, so that way when cars are pulling in, they have room to maneuver, so we don't have metro buses get hit, which is what almost occurred. You weren't here for that. We've already addressed this. This is our safety problem. I don't need to hear it anymore.
Well, then you can leave, sir. I don't need to stop talking because you don't need to hear it.
Here.
Okay, I'll keep talking. You can just listen and not talk
You can
back.
talk all you want. I'm telling you. it's
Okay,
already
I
been
appreciate you verifying that I have a First Amendment right of freedom of speech.
addressed. Go right ahead.
No one else needs that verification. You just feel that you need to double give it to me. Like
No,
I don't,
gave
like
you
I don't know
an
my rights.
explanation.
Any common sense person's going to say that's a safety risk that needs to be mitigated. Your all's initial reaction seemed to point to it as well. And then after you laughed at me and I pointed it out, you started making excuses, not just one of you, but two of you, for a common sense safety issue. A cone takes 3 seconds. Your emergency lights takes virtually no time.
Emergency lights are on.
No, I'm not talking about the sheriff's car. This car is 3 feet out from the closest light to the sheriff's
That's
department.
why we have 2 sheriff's cars on either side. One right there, one right there.
That's fine, we can disagree. If that's what you call safety, that's what you call safety, that's fine.
I wouldn't call it negligence.
Maybe it's somewhere in between there, but would you call it a common sense safety issue?
Right, that's what I'm telling you.
Let me ask you this.
I'm trying to
If
be
these 3
reasonable
cars
with you.
had their...
Hear me out. Hear me
Okay.
out. I'm trying to be reasonable with you.
Okay, I appreciate that.
The strobes on the side of that, and the top, and the back. So the Ohio law is you gotta move over or slow down for an emergency vehicle displaying emergency lights. That's the law. So by placing my vehicle there, a motorist is required to, at the very least, slow down. Okay? If they cannot physically move over, they need to proceed with due regard. Putting a sheriff's vehicle at that point with emergency equipment activated will then inform the motorist to slow down and proceed with due regard. That being said, once they start proceeding and they see that vehicle as well, which would also indicate to continue proceeding.
The one with the lights here that's kind of covered up by the cans and the sign, or the one that's behind it sticking
Well, that's
way
why
out
we
in the
have
road?
multiple levels of lights. We've got our lights on the roof.
Like
marker
it's almost
lights.
like your whole car is covered in lights. You know what I mean?
Well,
They cover it from the front to the back to the side to side,
Right.
but then when you look at this other car extended out, there's no lights.
Okay.
Not covered from front to
look what's
back.
happening, though. People are regarding the emergency lights. They're stopping and they're proceeding with safety. Okay, I can understand if there weren't sheriff's vehicles here, people might not be paying much attention and they might sideswipe these cars.
Do you think
I
these
get
lights
that.
on or off would make it more or less safe, or
Well, my honest
no
opinion,
difference? Yeah.
Hazards on these lights, when there's a cruiser with LED blinking lights, I'm gonna say they probably wouldn't have been paid attention to.
Okay, so you don't think it's provides any additional safety?
No, professionally and personally, I don't.
Now the guys that said they were going to hunt down the guys that come out and look at those lights, do you think they were doing that just to appease me, or do you think that they thought like I did, that there's
No,
increased safety by adding the
If there's
lights?
a safety issue, we would of course address it. But what I'm saying is, with those lights activated at the farthest end, so the first time when people are going to come down, it would, in my opinion, make simple hazard lights, which a lot of times on the rear vehicles are actually just incandescent bulbs, not LEDs, so dimmer. They're really not gonna pay attention to it. They're gonna see because what do people do when they see blue and red LED strobes? They look at it. So
While they're
not gonna
passing by cars that don't have lights on,
Well, I
that
will
are
say this,
3/4 of the way out into the road.
But hear me out. If you've seen that and passed it, I would hope to God you would be able to identify a hazard in the roadway. We should always be looking for hazards in the roadway, regardless.
Always looking for safety
Always.
improvement.
Always.
And you got a citizen point one out, and you all don't seem to even
So,
think that
what-
it would add safety to add blinking lights to the cars that are sticking out 3/4 of the way into the street.
Well, so right now, let me throw something else out there. We're in the middle of clearly doing an operation, which is about to stop.
Yep.
So, for a bunch of other different reasons, I'm not going to pull them out of doing what they're doing.
That sounds
Put
like a
their
better
emergency
answer.
blinkers on, okay?
That makes some
So,
sense.
putting a cruiser right there and a cruiser at the far end,
Off the road.
but with the lights displayed.
Let me ask you this. Can you tell me a little bit more about the way your guys' cars were arranged previously? that MS caused
I
a bus
wasn't up here,
accident?
so I
Did you hear
I
the guy say that you guys almost caused a bus
I understand
accident?
that there was a different arrangement.
Will anybody be held accountable for almost causing a bus accident?
I'm not sure. I'm not the one.
I would bet you
interviewing.
money for charity, your money against mine, to the charity of the other person's
I don't
choice.
bet. I don't bet.
I don't blame you, man. You give knuckles?
Yeah.
I appreciate
We're gonna
you.
get out of here.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Hey, can you tell me anything about this stop today?
I cannot now.
Can't say a warrant or anything like that? No, no worries, no worries. Can you tell me, are you a corporal or a
Corporal.
corporal?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Yep.
Hey, have a good day.
Good.
So we have a disagreement on the safety with relation to these cars, but I don't appreciate being laughed at like that. And other than that, I think that they've been professional. Don't really have a lot of complaints other than there's a couple issues right there. I'm gonna walk back up here and get a picture of that so I can point out why I think that's a safety issue. But when I say they're 3/4 of the way into the road, I'm talking about 3/4 of the car is in the road. And this one, it looks closer to maybe 80% of the car is in the road. So it looks like they're gonna be wrapping up here in a minute. We don't want to get in the way of no one out know where this guy's going, so scoot up a little bit. Appreciate y'all respecting my right of freedom of press. It's getting rarer and rarer in this country, so it's good to see y'all did the right thing. Appreciate it.
First Amendment rights are important.
Yep. He knows what's up.
You like my American flag?
I did. I commented on it. Yep. America first or Israel first.
And I didn't have anything on my computer, but
Hey, good safety
I
tip.
knew where you were probably going with it.
I don't know if you know anybody in Delhi PD, but I'm always hounding them on that thing.
Well, I'm pretty strict on it.
Yeah. I'm just
So
gonna
I
squeeze
never
between
have
here. So.
personal information of anybody displayed on the screen.
That's
but I
good.
figured, you know what? You have every right to
Best
look
practice,
in my car.
never hurts.
You were on a sidewalk. I'm on a sidewalk. So I said, you know what?
Doesn't hurt
Practice
to-
what we preach, right?
We're all human, right? So a little reminder, and
Practice
better me than somebody that's got bad will.
We practice what we preach, right?
I appreciate you, sir. Good job. So yeah, I thought they did a pretty good job on all. I thought those safety lights would have been a better job, but I'm not going to complain about that too much. We're going to do our legal duty and go all the way down to this crosswalk. They don't seem like the kind of folks that would nitpick me on a crosswalk or jaywalking, but I'd rather play it safe than have to deal with that crap. Get extorted another little chunk of change. So we're gonna stop recording. And this guy almost just ran into me. He's old, he's handicapped. I know it's an accident. Honestly, I think he might have been looking at the sheriff lights when he almost hit me. Got light blue on, so maybe I blend, maybe I don't. It's kind of an unknown. Might have to do a records request, see if we can find out more about that later. So we're gonna call that a wrap. God bless, peace, world peace for all.